Hello, it's James from Val White Marine. Today I'm here to give you an instructional video. Behind me I've got a brand new Interboat Intender 950 Cabrio. It's a new model of boat to the lineup and for us at Val White. I've got two of my colleagues here, Chris and Jamie, and we're going to show you how to take down the spray hood and the various different configurations that you can have on this model. So let's get started with the main thing. We've got Chris over on the starboard side and I've got my new colleague Jamie helping on the port side. So the guys are going to start off by taking these side panels out. And this is like an interim and it's quite a nice way to be underway, leaving the main part of the spray hood up but with the side panels out if you want shade. So they're getting all the zips undone. So Chris has already got the starboard side out and he's laid it down neatly in there because we're going to show you the best way to store these and keep them in the best condition. So all he's done is unzip the starboard side, that's the right hand side of the boat, taken the poppers out, and you'll see that the whole canopy does stay in situ with that open. So if you're just going out for an hour or so, quick cruising, you probably just take the sides and the front comes out in the same way. Last few poppers on that side, and in the meantime Chris has got the front out, so you could be on the way like that, and it gives you shade but you still got the main structure up. So the guys are laying those out flat because the best way to store any boat canopy rather than fold it all up is to roll it as much as you can and minimise the creases in your plastic screens. So they just laid it all out flat there. You could do that ashore obviously as well if you've got a nice clean area. They just laid that out flat and they're going to roll that and then pop it in one of the lockers. There we go, so we've got all three together and we're just rolling them. It also makes them a lot smaller if you roll them. So what the guys are doing, I'll come around because this is the best angle, they're undoing the front poppers and they're also undoing the pin in that forward supporting bar. Okay, so it's always important to put the pin back in as well, although they have a retaining strap, it's good to put them back in. Yep. Clip the poles on and then they've moved everything back, so that's all self-supporting now. You can just it won't move anywhere now, and what Chris is going to do now is tidy up all the material because it will make it fold in a much nicer way when it goes forward. So they're now undoing the rear straps off the deck and the poppers, which leave those other two strands of material. What the guys are doing now is, as I said, straightening. So we've got a spare. The material will all hang down in folds, but the neater you get that, the neater it'll be when it goes over. And just tuck those pieces in. What we've done here, in terms of the upstands, they are just neatly laying inside. They just fold over neatly onto all the folded material. It's quite easy to just get that all tidied up before you flip it over onto the bow. The next thing the guys are going to do now they've got all the material tidy up is pull out the rear pin while supporting the weight of the main canopy, and what they will do is then warp that forward onto the bow. It is a two-man job and probably depends on your height whether you go onto the deck or from inside the boat as Chris has done. And that's it. So that shows you your end game. The canopy sits neatly folded over there, still allows you access to the toilet and cuddy area, and then you get this phenomenal open boat. So now we're going to show you how to put this back up. The first thing to do is to unclip the rear bar, just to make it easier for once you've swung it over. Okay, and then once that rear clip is in, then the whole thing is self-supporting. So it's the whole process in reverse. And it is worthwhile having two people. You're going to have to undo that forward clip as well, as Jamie is now doing on this side. Carefully bring that forward. And once you've got the forward clip in, so all the pins are in, the whole thing's self-supporting. So the next step, as Chris is doing, is the corners. Pop of those down.
What's it show on there, Jamie?
If there's any trouble getting the poppers to meet up, as Chris has done, then he's just leaning a tiny bit on the framework, which will bring the poppers back in line. So then put the rears on. If you find that the poppers are tight, it is all about, as Jamie is doing, putting the strap through first, which allows you to create tension, and that allows you to pull the strap down and the poppers to line up. So then it's a case of putting the sides and the front screen back in. No particular order for that, just work out which one's which. Start at the top with the zips first, and then once you've got the zips in, it's poppers afterwards. So while we are finishing off, I just felt it was worthwhile showing another feature that the sides have got. If you didn't want to unpopper it all, you can actually roll the sides up. So again, if you were in a rush and you're just popping out for an hour and you didn't want to remove the side screens and the front screen, it is built in such a way that you can just roll the sides. And the tape is located on the inside and the white strap on the outside. And that just allows you to put that up. You could also do it that way if the weather was really mixed and you felt it was potentially going to rain. Not the prettiest thing, but it's just another feature. So just before we finish off the video, if you come back in, now the canopy of the spray hood is up, you'll see these tapes hanging down, which if you're underway doesn't look very nice. There is a way, they are designed in a way that you can put them back neatly. So Chris is just working it on the other side. They have these neat little pockets. So all you do, as Chris will now show us, is carefully roll, and then they tuck in to a little place at the top, so that when you're going along, it looks more like that, which is obviously much neater. So we drop that back down. That's your end game on your spray hood. Chris is just finishing off the starboard side, but I hope that has been helpful and informative.